So today we are talking about antifungal agents. Now those who have seen our part 1, before antifungal agents, I have discussed about the bacterial and fungus anatomy. Please you refer to that video. Okay. So now let us start the antifungal agents. So the first of all, the antifungal agents generally use of antifungal agents. Okay. It can be to treat the mycosis, so joke itch, okay, then mycosis to the systemic mycosis or the topical mycosis, nail, okay. So those area, especially ringworm, okay, these are the general use of antifungal agents. Now, as per the medicinal chemistry is concerned, the first important class is polyene antifungal antibiotics. Why antibiotics? Because they are obtained from Streptomyces bacteria. Okay. So now their mechanism of action I have already discussed. It interacts with ergosterol of fungus, okay, and causes leaking of the cell, and this leaking include the leakage of potassium mainly along with sodium and other ions, and leads to the fungal cell death. Okay. Now what the structural contribution these polyene antibiotics have? This is polyene, that means they have multiple conjugated double bond. So majorly they have a structure which is an amino sugars. Okay. So if you have these structures with a hydroxyl group and amino group as it amino hexose, okay, this makes that amino hexose. Then over here you have a substitution. This substitution is quite different. Like you have a carbon over here. Here you have one carbon. It is the multiple double bonded. Okay, and on the top side, it is it contains the hydroxyl and the carboxyl function. Because the structure is macrocyclic lactone, so we have to only discuss the highlights for GPAD and NIPER. Now, what are the drugs include this particular polyene? You have amphotericin B, okay, amphotericin B, then nystatin and natamycin. Natamycin also come to the polyene antibiotic antifungal agents. Now if you see, they have a typical the non-polar and the polar functional group, which makes them to create an ionophores between the fungal cell membrane, and this ionophores is like a bullet-like structure. The cell content can leak out very easily, and as a result the fungal cell dies. Okay. So what are the side effects of this? It is especially nephrotoxic when it is given IV. Okay. Otherwise it is orally is not that much active with large molecule. If it is given IV, it is causing nephrotoxicity. So that's why we preferred liposomal suspension for amphotericin B or any polyene antibiotic. Of course, most of the side effects lying with the amphotericin B. Okay, this is the first class, polyene. Now move to the second class. Second class is one of the very popular, which is known as azoles, antifungal azoles. All azoles mechanism of actions is pretty clear. That is, it inhibits the lanosterol 14 alpha demethylase, which I have discussed earlier in my videos. So now azoles, you have three type of azoles. One is imidazole containing azoles, tetrazole containing azoles, and thiazole containing azoles. For thiazole, you have only one example, that is your abafangine. Abafangine. This is the only one, but the very popular one is imidazole and the tetrazole. So imidazole structure, the first I would like to say that's clotrimazole. Clotrimazole is a part of imidazole. So imidazole, if I draw the structure, so I will satisfy the double bond. Then I am over here using three substitution. All three are phenyl. Okay. And one is metachlor substitution, and remaining are only phenyl. So it is chlortriphenyl methyl imidazole, known as clotrimazole. Okay. So this is very useful to treat topical infection like ringworm, joke itch, but the side effect is always liver dysfunction, and it inhibit cytochrome P3A4, and as well as it causes skin irritation problem. This is the azoles under the imidazole derivative. Okay. The next imidazole derivative is more hepatotoxic than the clotrimazole, but they are